Alex Jones did a segment on his show where he compared the students leading March for Our Lives to some of the worst historical monsters ever.
So it's on, folks. They're coming for all your rights globally. This is it, and people better get aggressive, and they better get active, or you're going to lose it all. Because Trump getting elected just woke the globalists up to accelerate their plan and their whole timetable. So here's Darren McBreen's piece with the truly frightening historical iconography that you cannot deny in these parallels of this youth march. Authoritarianism is always about youth marches. Here we go.
Meine Zeit verwendet habe im Dienste meines Volkes. Gib du jetzt eine Stimme ab. Wenn ja, dass ich gearbeitet habe, Jahren für dich eingesetzt habe, dass ich anständig meine Zeit, du jetzt eine Stimme ab. Führe mich ein, so wie ich für dich eingesetzt werde.
Also show the sign saying ban the guns. And I want to be clear. I'm not saying David Hogg's a Nazi. I'm not saying any of them are. I'm saying the ideology of the left that's identity-based is how the Nazis were based. And I'm saying their move to only allow select groups to have weapons is a Nazi-based system or an authoritarian-based system. And big youth marches and emotion and manipulating the youth was the staple of the communist, the fascist, the Nazis, you name it, across the political spectrum. And that's where you see these dangerous revolutions coming from, like the one we see that's brought Venezuela and other areas to its collective knees, is these exact same type of dangerous youth movements. And if you study the college movements and high school movements today in the United States, they're not Nazi-based. They are Mao, Youth Brigade, Red Guard-based.
Okay, my favorite part of that was when he took a brief second off from comparing the March for Our Lives students to Nazis to say, I'm not comparing them to Nazis, except what I'm saying is they're like the Nazis. Alex, come on, man. Come on. You just played a video with Hitler giving a speech over David Hogg giving a speech, and you spliced in video of the Nazis with the March for Our Lives video. And then you go, and now I'm not comparing them to Nazis, but what I'm saying is the ideology of the left, it's like Nazis. So that would mean you're comparing them to Nazis. Does this guy, something's off in his brain, man. There's no, whatever the fucking thing is that gauges the logic, it's not there. It's not there at all. And then I also love he goes from, well, you know, they're like Nazis, but really what's happening is even though I just said the left are like Nazis, they're not like Nazis, they're like communists. And then they're also like Venezuela, and they're like Mao. Dude, listen, I know your whole point is to be a smear merchant and to fling mud at these kids who just witnessed their friends getting slaughtered. But pick one. Pick one, dude. You can't even get your fucking, your smear arguments right. You contradict yourself within your shitty arguments. Which is it? They can't be like the Nazis, but also like the communists at the same time. Yeah, pick one. It's like, they're like everything bad that's ever happened ever. So I'm just going to keep throwing out things that were bad, that everybody agrees are bad. And then you're just going to hopefully make the connection that these guys are bad. And then also, the whole underlying argument is that, well, they're for gun confiscation. No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. In fact, the guy who you showed giving a speech, David Hogg, and you compared him directly to a Nazi, he was on Fox News where he said clearly to the host, I'm not against the Second Amendment. I'm not against the Second Amendment. In fact, almost all of the Parkland students say, I'm not against the Second Amendment. What we're talking about is, universal background checks, a ban on assault weapons specifically. We're talking about having a system where we treat guns like cars. So you're not banning them, you're just setting up a process where people have to go through in order to get a weapon. That's not an unreasonable ask. And he's like, oh, they took the guns in Nazi Germany. You know where they have similar gun legislation? Every other developed country. That's what these kids are talking about. Hey, let's get some gun reform that's like every other developed country. But weird, Alex Jones doesn't go out there and rant about how these kids want us to be like the UK. These kids want us to be like Australia. He doesn't do that. What he does is he goes, Venezuela, fucking Nazi Germany, communist Mao, Red Guard. So I've never seen, the thing that drives me crazy about Alex Jones at this point is not just that he's insanely wrong, it's that he's lazy and wrong too. Like, there was no effort put into his smear job here. It was just like, okay, what are bad things that we all agree are bad? Nazis? Sure. Mao? Sure. All right, I'm just going to fucking throw all this shit out there. Why not just keep going, buddy? Don't stop. Just be like, hey, you're all rapists. We all don't like rape, and I don't like you, so you're rapists. We'll go with that. How's that? Come on, man. Step your fucking game up. This is the weakest shit I've ever seen in my life. Who can watch that and go, nailed it? Who, even if you're somebody who 100% disagrees on the policy substance with these kids, which, by the way, congratulations, you're part of 3% of Americans, because 97% of Americans want a universal background check, according to a recent poll. That's one of the things that they're asking for. So if you're against them, wow, that's a tiny, tiny, tiny fringe minority. But even if you're totally against these kids, really, you just watched that and went, Alex done nailed it again. How? Jesus, man, stop and fucking look in the mirror. You're such a clown. And this is the thing I notice every time I watch Alex Jones, which unfortunately is way too common than I'd like it to be. You never hear what he's for. He never tells you what he's for. He just goes on these unhinged rants against fucking anybody and everybody he doesn't like. All he does is shriek about what he's against. He will never tell you what he's for. He claims to be libertarian-ish, but he's really not. If he is, he never talks about the policies that, go hand in hand with libertarianism. You watch this show, you know exactly what I'm for, because I tell you every single goddamn day. I tell you I want to end the wars. I want to make it so when we fight wars, it's only for defensive reasons instead of offensive like we have now. So I hate the military-industrial complex. I'm in favor of Medicare for all. I'm in favor of free college and a living wage. I'm in favor of making our system a social democracy, more like the Scandinavian systems. Agree or disagree with me. You watch this show, you know exactly what the fuck I stand for. Go ahead, watch Alex Jones, and you tell me. You've watched 5 Alex Jones shows, and at the end of it, you come back and tell me what he's in favor of. You won't fucking know. All you'll know is he's against the globalists, he loves Trump, he sucks him off on a daily basis, and that's all I got. And he fucking compares anything he doesn't like to the Nazis and the communists. And that's what's hilarious, is that these are the same guys that accuse the left of like, sure, lefties, anytime you don't like somebody, you just say that they're like Nazis. Anyway, here's a highlight reel of me comparing people I don't like to Nazis. I mean, come on, man. And I thought you guys were the facts over feelings crowd. The facts over feelings crowd just said that these kids who are marching for mild gun reform after watching their friends get massacred, they say, they hurt my feelings, so I'm gonna fucking call them Nazis and communists and fucking Mao and say they're like Venezuela and fucking everything that's bad in the world. What happened to facts over feelings? Wouldn't it be amazing if Alex Jones did like, okay, here's exactly what the March for Our Lives people are calling for. Here are all their policies. That's what they're calling for. Here are the policies I'm in favor of. Here's why I don't agree with them. And let me respectfully tell you why I think they're misguided. He didn't do that. He went out there and fucking had a meltdown and compared them to Adolf Hitler. That's what an idiot does, guys. That's what an idiot does. And I have to say, at the beginning, he argued, Trump getting elected just woke the globalists up. That's what he said. This is a guy who's willfully blind about Trump. In fact, before Donald Trump signed the $1.3 trillion omnibus spending bill, Alex Jones argued on his show, oh, he's gonna veto this bill because it's obviously a terrible bill. Then when Trump signed it, Alex Jones went out there the next day and defended Trump signing it and said he knows what he's doing and this bill's actually good. That's all you need to know about Alex Jones. He's working backwards from his conclusion. He loves Donald Trump. He gives him good feels. So, he's defending him come hell or high water. And Donald Trump repeatedly appointed Goldman Sachs into his administration, people who were top officials at Goldman Sachs, whether it's Gary Cohn, who's now gone, or Steve Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, who's still there, or multiple other Goldman Sachs officials and Wall Street officials. He put them in his administration. They wrote the tax bill. And Alex Jones still has the nerve to say Donald Trump getting elected just woke the globalists up as opposed to pointing out the reality that Donald Trump is a globalist. Even Ann Coulter admitted this recently and said, yeah, he ran against the Manhattan elites, and now that he's elected, all he does is bring them into his administration and try to please them. So imagine if Hillary Clinton brought Goldman Sachs executives into her administration, which, by the way, is not hard to imagine because she might have done it, and then had Goldman Sachs write her tax bill. How would Alex Jones cover that? What would he say? He'd be like, I told you, Hillary Clinton working with the globalists, this is the problem here. But when Donald Trump does the exact same thing, he defends Donald Trump. You're sad, Alex. You're just sad. You're working backwards from your conclusion. You don't give a shit about the reality of the situation. Donald Trump is doing the bidding of Wall Street, doing the bidding of these so-called globalists, and you don't even fucking point it out. We're bombing 8 countries right now. You used to be against war back when it was Obama and back when it was Bush. You said, oh, we got to stop with the fucking wars and shit. Trump even said that on the campaign trail, and you agreed with him. Now he's bombing 8 different countries. Somehow, you still fucking agree with them. So it's the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life, and you're not a deep thinker. You're not even a thinker. You're just going out there and ranting on emotions, and it's the saddest thing I've ever seen.